Really? Really? Finally, the international break has come to a close, and we're back to some championship action, and Rovers are taking on Millwall next. That's right, folks, back once again with another match preview, boys and girls. It's been a long time since the last one, but we are here and we'll talk about it in just 1 second. If you're new to the channel, smash your subscribe button to keep you bang up to date with all things Blackburn Rovers related, championship related, whoa, football related, all here under one roof. Yes, I know, I'm just like the majority of us. We do love a bit of international football, but it can get a bit tedious. Just when the season has just got started. But, you know, when you look at it from both angles, I think the break has come at the right time for Rovers as we accumulated a couple of injuries and all that, and we had a little bit of a rut towards the back end of it. So anyway, it is now next up for Rovers, and it is Millwall, and that is going to be taking place at Ewood Park. But before we talk about it, I want to let you know that I'll be doing a live Blackburn Rovers watch-along for this one. It is the first of the season. We're going to try and do a whole bunch of them throughout the season. So if you're bored and you can't make the game on Saturday, or if you're a fellow overseas viewer, you can stick me on one screen, watch the game on the other, and we can talk about the game live. That's right. And if you can't watch the game, or you're just bored and you want to kind of a bizarro world look at this game, you can come and join me on Twitch. Link to the Twitch platforms in the old description down below. Head over there, smash the follow, and then you'll know when we're going to go live, boys and girls. So anyway, let's talk about the match in a bit more detail, shall we? It does, hey, it does take place right here at Ewood Park, boys and girls. That's right. Beautiful, beautiful stadium. It is the new camp of the Championship. That's right. Obviously, we're up against Millwall, who are still managed by Neil Harris. The match will take place the 14th of September. And Ewood Park, of course. Conor Mahoney is my danger man. Obviously, he's signed on a permanent deal for Millwall in the summer, so he's going to cause us all kinds of problems on the left or down the right, depending on what they do with him. Last season, Millwall finished in 21st spot in the Championship. Our record against Millwall, or their record against us, should I say. They've played 42 times. Millwall have won 10 of them. Rovers have won 21 of them, and they've drawn 11 apiece. Now, the last time that these two sides duked it out last season was a 2-0 victory for us Rovers at the Den. 2-0 victory there, and it was a bit of a 0-0 draw in the first game of the season last time out at Ewood Park. So Millwall haven't scored against us for the past 2 appearances, so that's what you can get out of that. This season obviously will take place this match this weekend, the 14th of September, but we'll duke it out again down London on the 18th of March, boys and girls. So let's take a look at the expecting starting 11s. Now, before that, we'll take a look at any injuries and suspensions. Both Rovers and Millwall do not have any suspensions whatsoever, but Rovers are stacking up a little bit of an injury list as it stands. Jacob Davenport is back in training, as is Tonson and Barario. Just call him Big TA. No, that just sounds wrong. That sounds wrong. Big Bad Boy Berrington's also got an injury as well. He's on a day-to-day sort of analysis. And Daniel Butterworth, we don't know what his deal is. Millwall got a clean bill of health. So a whole host of players to choose from. But this is what I expect for both Rovers and Millwall. Rovers going with their 4-2-3-1 formation with Walton between the sticks, Cunningham at left back, Williams, Lenihan and Bennett. Now, Nyambe was called up for international duty for Namibia, but he said, you know what? I'm sticking it out at Ewood Park. I'm going to duke it out and try and get myself back into the gaffer's eye. So he may, that move may have given Tony Mowbray a bit of a food for thought for the right back spot. He might decide to push Bennett further forward or what, because he is wearing the captain's armband. Is it a permanent deal? Is it a permanent thing? Will Lenihan, because I know Lenihan captained the game the other week. It was probably against Sheffield United or something. So, yeah, maybe it's a bit of a selection headache for the right back. But Bennett has been playing pretty well in that spot recently. Travis and Johnson, of course, they are the mainstays in the defensive midfield slots. Daki Boy should regain his spot, obviously. Scored against West Brom in milliseconds before, just after the kickoff. So he's there. We'll talk more about that game in a minute. This is the headache that Gaffer has now, is the selection process up top. Downing is looking worlds apart. He's got an excellent delivery. He might not have the legs or the stamina as a Gallagher, but I think he's too good to drop at the moment. So he'll remain on the left-hand side. And then it's a headache up top. Rothwell, Armstrong, Gallagher, Graham. Who do you put up top? Chapman's been ripping it up as well for the under-23, so he could be in contention as well. So you just never know. But we're going to go with Gallagher on the right and Graham up top, just to get us hopefully a victory under our belts. Meanwhile, Millwall going to go with like this. Białkowski between the sticks. Now Białkowski was a goalkeeper that we were linked with prior to Walton. He's a big goalkeeper. I think he's going to give Millwall that edge. In the season overall, I think Millwall will be safe because they've got a really good pair of hands right there. Former Ipswich Player of the Year 2 times running. You just had a bit of a shitstorm last time out. Wallace, one of 2 Wallaces in the Millwall lineup at left back. Cooper, Pierce, and Romeo at right back. Into midfield, there he is. Mahoney at the left. Thompson, Leonard, and Wallace on the right hand side. Up top, it'll be Bradshaw and Matty Smith. Not Doctor Who, but the Reading, because the Doctor Who, Matt Smith. He's a diehard Rover, just like you and I. Anyway, that is the expected lineup. So let's take a look at the statistics now for the both teams coming into this one. Daki Boy is the current top goal scorer at Rovers with 2 goals. This is in all competitions at all grounds this year. 2 goals to him. Downing's got 1, Graham's got 1, and Johnson officially has 1. As for the yellow cards, there's quite a few been dished out. Bennett, Cunningham, and Lenihan all have 3. Bradley Johnson has 2. No red cards as it stands. As for Millwall, it's a 4-way tie at the minute for top goal scorer. Bradshaw, Wallace, Smith, and Budvarsson all scoring 2 goals. And again, in all competitions. As for the yellows, Thompson's got 2. Hutchinson's got 1. Williams got 1. Lennon has 1. And Wallace has the only red card between the 2 sides coming into this. Quick look at the last 5 fixtures for both sides here. Obviously, Rovers come into this on the back of 2 defeats. In fact, haven't won a game in 3 when you look at it. Losing to West Brom in a bit of a thriller, 5-goal thriller at the Hawthorns last time out. Also, we did lose to Sheffield United in the Carabao Cup at their ground. We also drew with Cardiff in the last game at Ewood Park. But we did have victories against Hull and Middlesbrough along the way. When you look at that, though, the last 2 games at Ewood Park, no goals conceded. That's the stat for you, for there, folks. Hopefully we can get back to those clean sheet ways. Meanwhile, Millwall come into this. Haven't won a game in 4 matches there. Drawing with Hull City. Losing to Oxford United Carabao Cup on penalties. Drawing with Middlesbrough. They did lose to Fulham, but the last time they did win a game was all the way back in 17th of August. And it was a 1-0 win over Sheffield Wednesday. Coming into this, though, this is the next 5 matches for both sides. Rovers coming into this obviously against Millwall. Then they take on Reading the following Saturday. Then it's Luton the back end of the month. That will conclude September. Then we take on Nottingham Forest in a midweek game at Ewood Park before we take on QPR down at their place on the 5th of October. As for Millwall, obviously Rovers this weekend. Then they take on QPR the following weekend. Then it's Huddersfield on the 28th of September, back end of the month. They'll take on Luton in the first game of October before they take on Leeds down the Den. Tricky game, that one. So let's take a look at the form overall between the 2 sides. This is the home form against Millwall's away form. We'll look at how that's ranked in the tables in a second. But Rovers coming into this, like I said, we just lost the 1 game at home this season. That was the opening day, which we do. We don't win opening days. And that was against Charlton, who've just started the season in immense form. They're doing bits at the top. We did squeaky bum victory over Oldham. We did pick up a victory over Middlesbrough, and we did keep a clean sheet and a draw against Cardiff. As for Millwall's last few away games, obviously a couple of these are, at least the top one is a friendly, but they did take on West Brom at the Hawthorns. They did pick up a point. They also beat them in the Carabao Cup as well. It was like the same, just like 2 days later. They must have just stayed down there, stayed at the same hotel. You know what I mean? Then they took on Millwall. They lost. They drew with Middlesbrough, and they drew with Oxford. And that is just, again, their away record coming into this. How about the last few encounters between the 2 sides over the years? Now, this is the last 6 between the 2 sides, both down their place and our place. And whoop! Yeah, I know, it's not international break. It is Rovers action. Crikey. But over the past 6 or 7 years, these are the games. They've played each other 6 times. Rovers winning 3 of them. They've drawn 3 as well. Millwall yet to pick up a victory in the past 6 encounters. Obviously coming into this, a 2-0 victory last time out at the Den. Joe Nuttall scored one of his very few goals. Adam Armstrong also on the score sheet. Back in 2015, Rovers picked up a 2-0 victory with Rudy Gestead and Jordan Rhodes on the score sheet. Back in 2014, Shane Duffy with one of his not own goals, but an actual goal for Rovers. Rudy Gestead as well. He seemed to like to score against Millwall. Andy Wilkinson got a red card. Lee Martin, Sean Williams got themselves a goals as well. And the reverse fixture, or maybe tell a lie, the fixture prior to that, Sean Williams and Simeon Jackson scoring penalties past Rovers. Michael Keane and Joshua King for Rovers. And all the way back 2013, 3-2 victory for Rovers at Ewood Park. Rhodes, Marshall, and a very, very good-looking David Dunn putting the goals past Millwall and the 3 points. Now, how about the last 5 matches between the two sides at Ewood Park? It is a little bit better reading for Millwall. 2 victories for Rovers, 1 draw, and 2 victories for Millwall. Obviously, they come into this, haven't won a game at Ewood Park since the FA Cup victory in 2013. Danny Shitu, that's right, scoring the winner. And prior to that, Chris Wood, yes, I believe it's that Chris Wood, who scored one of the goals against Rovers in a 2-0 victory at Ewood Park. It is confirmed. It is confirmed. It is that Chris Wood. What else have I got for you, folks? Quick look at what sort of summary for the two sides coming into this one. Strengths of Rovers is creating chances through individual bits of skill and aerial duels. They do have a lot of height in the team this time around. As for Millwall, they also got a lot of height within their team, so they're also very good, very strong in aerial duels as well. Scoring chances, creating scoring chances, attacking set pieces, and keeping the lead. So if they get their noses in front, it's going to be hard for Rovers to get it back. As for the weaknesses, scoring, finishing scoring chances, avoiding individual errors, and avoiding offside. As for Millwall, again, same deal. They fail to score from many chances, keeping possession of the ball and defending against through balls. As for the style, we play a little bit of a long ball, attempt to cross the ball very often, try to control the game in the opposition's half, attacking down the right, play with some width. And opponents like to play aggressive against us. It's kind of like a mirror image here, really. The only additional one I see is they prefer to come down the left. They do take a few long shots as well. Quick look at the form, the overall form for the Championship as a whole. Here it is, the last 6 games. As you can see, Swansea top, Charlton second, Leeds are third. Rovers all the way down into 17th spot with 7 points on the board. Millwall doing a little bit better into 12th, just the 1 defeat for them. Rovers have got 3 defeats on the cards already. It's nasty. Quick look at the home form for you. Rovers are in 15th spot, played 3 at home, 1-1, drew 1 and lost 1. Millwall's home form is much better, played 3, won 2, drawn 1. Yet to taste defeat at the Den. But that's not what we're worried about. We're worried about Millwall's away form, and they are down into 18th with haven't won away from home this season. Rovers' away form is 14th in the table. Quick look at what else is going on in the Championship this time around. This is the current state of flux in the Championship. It's a little bit close to it. It might be bang on the same as the form book. But Swansea are top of the pops. Charlton are in 2nd. Leeds are in 3rd. West Brom 4th. Bristol City 5th. And Fulham make up the playoffs in 6th spot. Down the bottom, Stoke and Huddersfield finding life difficult at the moment with a point on the board. And Wigan are in the relegation zone. As for our opponents, they are in 12th, 9 points on the board. Rovers are in 17th. It's pretty much identical to the form table. Quickly, look at what else is going on this weekend. On Friday, Derby is taking Cardiff. Fulham against West Brom, that's a tasty one as well. Early kick-off on a Saturday. QPR, Luton, Charlton, Birmingham, Middlesbrough, Reading. Hull against Wigan. Stoke against Bristol City. Must-win game for Stoke. Swansea against Nottingham Forest. That'll be a difficult one to see if they can maintain their lead. Preston against Brentford. Barnsley against Leeds. That's an all-Yorkshire affair. And Huddersfield against Sheffield Wednesday. And those 2 games taking place on Sunday. These times are listed for my preference. Obviously, it'll be more like a 3 o'clock kicker for you guys in the UK. But the game of the weekend is obviously at Ewood Park. And it is Rovers against Millwall. And again, you can catch me on Twitch if you can't watch the game, can't go to the game, or you're just stuck or bored, or you want something a little bit weird. I'll be live on Twitch to talk about the game. Quick look at the current top players out in the Championship. Lyle Taylor is the man at the moment, joint top with Mitrovic, Heigl and Baston from Swansea. Those are the 4 top goal scorers with 5 goals. There's a bit of another chasing pack with Patrick Bamford, Grant, Graben, Johnson and Watkins on 4 goals, and Waghorn's in there in the top 10 with 3. As for the assists, Swifty Boy and Williams lead the assist with 4. Kearney, Johnson have 3, and Manning is in there with 2. Not a Rovers player in sight. The only Millwall player I can see is Wallace, and he is up there in the aggression stakes. So that is that, boys and girls. And once again, I want to let you know about the live coverage. Depending on when this video goes live, well, the Championship ones would have taken place. Championship predictions. They're going to be a weekly thing, or maybe even a bi-weekly thing, depending on the fixture list. I think for the next few weeks it's just once a week. On the Tuesdays, and again, if you catch this early enough, you might be able to turn in for the Premier League show on Tuesdays. And on Thursdays we'll have live predictions for the Champions League. And I'm going to pump my horn one more time. We're going to be live on Saturday. Blackburn Rovers up against Millwall. Live watch along, instant reaction, instant tears, instant drama over on Twitch. Check me out on twitch.tv/Roverseas, I believe. If not, if I'm completely wrong, just check out the old description down below. Link to my Twitch down there. Click on it, smash the follow. You'll know when I go live. Boys and girls, I think that's all I've got for you. Yeah, it's oh yeah, just to let you know, a little bit later on in the week we'll have fan input from this game, a Millwall fan and a Rovers fan. Fingers crossed. You know, obviously schedules are quite hard to navigate, and also down the end of the week, Cass will have her own prediction of what she thinks will happen this weekend between the mighty Blue and White and Millwall. Obviously, you know, we've had a recent good record against them. But you know, Millwall started the season in pretty good shape, middle of the pack, whereas we're kind of towards the back end of the pack. We need a win to start them up. This next 3 games for Rovers is quite massive. They're all very winnable, and if we can get 9 points out of 9, we could be into a right good position going into the month of October. Yes, that's right, folks. But anyway, I'm going to get out of here. Hopefully you enjoyed the video. If you did, smash the thumbs up. If you do, smash the subscribe. New videos pretty much every single day on the channel. And if you've missed it, there is a week ahead guide to the channel. Let you know what's happening when. Anyway, until then, I'm out. Thanks again for watching. Please like, share, and most importantly, hit the subscribe button to keep you bang up to date with all things Blackburn Rovers related, Championship related, football related. We've got it all covered right under one roof. And while I still have you, please be sure to check out some of the old videos scattered along here. I hope.